Hey, you, turn it up. Let's go, let's go. So, we are on day 8 now. The top 25 tips to get you lean, healthier, and just in shape and ready for summer. So, again, we are here whether we want to embrace it, admit it, whatever it is. But, like, Florida sun's here. We're going to be 85, 86 today, it seems like. And beaches are starting to fill up. So the whole thing is like we wanted to make sure that we came to you of like post quarantine tips of like how the heck do we get out of what we've just created? You know, maybe some of us were on a great run. Maybe some of us had just started our New Year's resolutions and we were on a good track. We had a good 4 weeks in, then 8 weeks in, then all of a sudden, boom, we fall off track. And I think, when we went into quarantine, a lot of people, they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to maintain this. This is going to be the time I'm going to learn a new skill. I'm going to get in great shape. I'm going to eat well and meal prep. And then they got like 3 weeks in and got bored. So the whole idea is we're trying to get you out of this rut and get you back into it. So a quick little recap if you have not joined us for the first 7 days. We talked about how to incorporate more water into your day-to-day. We talked about how to incorporate more movement. We talked about, targeting your stubborn body part areas. We talked about including protein to help support your actual muscle gains and what you're trying to do to build and recover, but then also decrease your appetite. Then we talked about your support team because like you need to have that accountability in there. Then we talked about expectations versus reality of so many people come into this thinking, oh, I want to have a six pack, but yet they don't want to do the work to get a six pack. So, tempering your expectations, I guess, is the next one. So when we got into here, we talked about carbs yesterday, and carbs we talked about, putting before your activity. And so carbs is going to be a perfect segue into now cheat meals and acceleration days. So here's the two things I wanted to start with. Like if you go back to videos on YouTube, I think it's like 2005, 2006, you will hear me talking about acceleration days and cheat meals. Like this has been a constant that we've talked about for 14 years now. And I mean, I had a full goatee, I had gel in my hair, I actually had hair on my head. So like this is something that's been a staple. So no matter like clients that have done keto and they've done, calorie counting or macros or whatever, I've always been a big fan of incorporating this. So that's the first part I wanted to say. The second part is we all need deadlines and goals. So, you're not necessarily supposed to reward yourself with food, and that's a bad way for somebody who's got like, type of food addiction. But at the same time, like we're humans, like we want to be rewarded and stoked, to work towards something. It's the thing that like drives us as humans because otherwise we get bored. So like if going into this quarantine, we would have said, hey guys, it's exactly 30 days. You'll be back to work in 30 days. So, get in shape, do all this. Like everybody can buckle down for a time period that they're aware of, but like when you have unknown dates, when you have unknown end times, like then a lot of it becomes like self-motivation, and we don't always have that. So the whole idea with cheat meals, what I want to get into today is like there's a balance. And the whole thing for me is I want to break this down into a few different criterias of how you'll set up your cheat meals. So the idea is like it's Wednesday. This is a perfect day to discuss this because like maybe Monday we had great intentions and maybe we did good. Tuesday, maybe we had the best intentions and maybe we messed up a little bit. Well, then we start getting that guilty feeling, and come Wednesday we're like, oh, man, I messed up yesterday. Well, I didn't get my workouts in yet. I'll just start back Monday. And it's like we just blew an entire week. So the whole idea is like your cheat meal should be what keeps you on track on Wednesday, on Thursday, on Friday, and that type of thing. So let's use for instance here. Let's say I wanted to get a Blizzard from Dairy Queen, like I was totally craving one. My pregnant wife loves her Reese's, so it's like, let's say we want to get a double Reese's, and that's our goal for this week. So when you get to a point on Tuesday where you want to slip up or you're like tempted by something else, it comes down now, it's like, do you want the Reese's Blizzard or do you want whatever you're just making an impulse decision in front of you? And so it starts to become an if or that. So it's not something where it's like you're doing both. It basically comes into a situation where like you have to make a choice. So if you do have that mess up then on Tuesday, you don't have your peanut butter cup, indulgence, I guess, for your Blizzard on Saturday night. So the whole idea is like it's what keeps you on task. So think of it as like a measurement deadline. Like if you knew you had measurements in 2 weeks and like let's say it was going to be posted all over Facebook and we're going to take bikini pictures, like man, you'd be on the best track for the next 2 weeks that you could. Well, that's how you're going to start using your cheat meals is the same exact way. So the goal is to identify something that you're craving early in the week. Like what is going to throw you off track? And then you need to put it on your calendar for Saturday or for Sunday. And what you need to look at is like, if you can hold out until then, That's your reward. Okay. So it's the same thing. It's like, kids take tests every single day in class, in class, in class, in class, in class, but really the only grade that really matters is at the end. Okay. It's the same thing. Like your grade, your weight, your health, your whatever at the end is the only thing that's important, but you're going to start grading yourself on a day-to-day basis. So as long as you did well, you still get the meal at the end. As long as you did well on Tuesday, you still get the meal at the end. You do well on Wednesday, you get the meal at the end. But let's say you mess up Wednesday night and you still want your peanut butter cup blizzard on Saturday. What do? That's where acceleration days come in. So to me, what I have always counted acceleration days, you're going to have a deficit day so that you can have your surplus day. And the whole thing is like an acceleration day, which we'll get into in a second. If you don't incorporate those and you just keep having cheat meals, well, that becomes your new diet. And now you have such a surplus that you're not going to lose weight no matter how well you did for the first 5 days of the week. So the whole idea is this. You need to set up your foundational plan, whatever that is. We've talked about this for the last couple of days. Tracking your macros and some of those different things would be a good idea to get started. But let's say like you just have your normal way of eating and peanut butter cup's going to be on Saturday. Well, you make the mistake like we gave in the example on Wednesday night. Well, if you still want that peanut butter cup, blizzard on Saturday, here's what you do. Your acceleration day basically becomes where you're going to do no starches, so no pasta, potato, bread, or rice, no alcohol, and no additional sugar. That's kind of it. So like Thursday is if you can make it through the whole day without any additional carbs, without any alcohol, or without any extra sugar, guess what comes back into play? Cheat meal Saturday night, so you get your blizzard. All right? Now, let's say you make it through Thursday, you kill it, you crush it, whatever. Friday comes and you don't quite make it through the day, and happy hour comes, or whatever the situation happens to be. Guess what you need to do? If you still want that blizzard Saturday night, Saturday then becomes an acceleration day again. And so what you would do is you would do the same thing. No starches, no pasta, potato, bread, or rice, no alcohol, and no sugar. And then guess what you can have on Saturday night? Your blizzard. But what a lot of people do is like they slash one tire, and then they're like, I might as well slash the other 3 because I'm not going anywhere and making progress this week. Well, it's really not that case. So like if you slash a tire, like as in you mess up, you're going to put some Fix-A-Flat in there. You're going to fill it back up with air with your acceleration day, and you're going to keep driving on that tire. All right. So instead of like destroying all progress you make with one slip up, know that you have a planned indulgence, a planned cheat at the end of the week. And if anything throws you off, you just throw an acceleration day the next day. So how you would use this, if you are somebody who likes details and tracking, and you're somebody who likes to have control over what you're doing and not just let like temptation overwhelm you, that's where using something like MyFitnessPal, which is going to be, I think it's day 12 we talk about, but that's where you're going to start to incorporate MyFitnessPal. And what you want to look at is like, you should just track your food every day. Don't try and fit under a certain calories. Don't try and fit under a certain carbs. Don't try and do anything crazy, but just track. Like you probably have no awareness of what you're eating already, so it'd be a good idea to find out. And let's say after the end of the week, you find out you're averaging, say, 1,500 calories, just for easy math here. And you look and like your day that you messed up was 2,500 calories. Well, what you need to do then before you can earn your cheat meal is you need to get rid of those extra 1,000 calories, or whatever, yeah, that extra 1,000 calories. So that might be where you're taking off an extra 250 calories on day 1, an extra 500 calories day 2, an extra 250 on day 3. But like the whole idea is at the end of the week, like you still need to be at your maintenance level or below if you want to lose weight. You can't just be like, oh, I abstained from carbs and I did an acceleration day, so I'm going to eat a whole tray of brownies. Like that doesn't work. Like it has to be controlled, it has to be moderated, and the way you're going to do that is either by using the cheat meal versus acceleration strategy like we said, or you just count your actual macros and see what your caloric intake is, and then just make sure you're creating the deficit for the week. So I hope this doesn't get too long-winded. I hope this makes sense. I don't want to get too far away from this because we will be talking about MyFitnessPal. We're going to talk more in depth about acceleration days in the upcoming days, but I really want you to take this into perspective today. Like today's Wednesday. Like if you've already messed up for the week, but you know that you're going to hit the sandbar and you're going to go drink on Saturday or Sunday, like guess what? Probably want to throw an acceleration day for Thursday or Friday. Get your ass a little bit leaner. When you take away carbs, that bloat goes away too because water goes with carbs. So like it's one of those things that like it's a fail safe, it's your safety net, and it's your way of not feeling guilty. Like you are in ultimate control this way because if you mess up, guess what? Next meal, next day, it's a whole fresh start. So I really hope this helps. Guys, embrace your cheat meals, love your cheat meals, use it as short-term deadlines. It's not a reward. It's not like you're like rewarding yourself with food, but you are. Like it's it's something where if I told you you couldn't have your favorite thing for the rest of your life, you're not going to stick to it anyway. So the whole idea is make it 6 days and you can have it every seventh day. Just make sure the days in between are controlled, consistent, and you actually have a way to track it. Guys, I hope that really helps. I love my cheat meals. As you all know, I'm open with it. I share it with you guys, but like I want you to have that same confidence that you can eat what you want to eat and still be able to maintain your weight and even lose if you're on that track. Guys, have a great one. Please incorporate these tips in your day-to-day. If you're getting too far ahead of yourselves and you're getting stuck with anything, please make sure you reach out and message me. It's what I love to do, and that's how we can customize it for you. See you guys.